Baker, and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Tennessee General Assembly, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the Tennessee General Assembly, Brenda Gilmore. Representative Gilmore is the representative for the 54th Legislative District for the Tennessee General Assembly. And of course, Representative Gilmore, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you, Dr. Haney. Thanks for having me.
And to tell you how delighted we are in having you, and to know that you've been involved in politics in the state of Tennessee and in Nashville for a long time, and now you are a new member in the Tennessee General Assembly.
Yes,
and
I am.
We certainly can appreciate that.
Thank you. It's an exciting place to be. I grew up in a small town, grew up in Gallatin, Tennessee, and met my husband at Vol State Community College. And we've been married for 34 years. And during that 34 years, I was always volunteering and helping other people get elected to positions. And so I think I've always had an interest in politics. Politics is something, though, that it's a very serious decision that have to be made, because once you decide that you're going to run, not only do you open your own self up to public scrutiny, you also open your family up. So about 10 years ago, there were some things going on in the community that I thought could be handled a lot of difference. And often we criticize other people, and this time I said, well, you know, I'm going to do something about it. And so I decided I was going to run for Metro Councilwoman. The district that I represent was District 1. And in the past, I think we had allowed the hills to separate us along racial lines. And District 1 is predominantly the Bordeaux-Jolton area. And I believed that I had enough energy and I had enough passion and compassion to represent both rural Jolton, which is predominantly white, and also the Bordeaux area, which is predominantly African American. So I decided, I took on an incumbent and was successful. And that was 1999. In 2003, when I began to run my second term, I was unopposed. And I feel very fortunate. I believe, have been able to really accomplish some good things out in both the Bordeaux-Jolton area. And I also have been looking on the state level and have felt like that it was only a natural transition during my preparation, as well as my desire to make some changes on the state level, and that's why I decided also to run on the state level.
You know, when you talk about being involved in politics, and especially as a female involved in politics, you serve not only an inspiration to a large number of people, but especially an inspiration to African-American females, you see. And I do know that you were involved at Tennessee State University and that kind of thing for a while. Why don't you give us sort of a sketch in terms of coming out of school and being led to be involved in politics? It didn't all start with you being a council person.
No, it didn't.
Okay, let's start from that. Talk about it from that
No, it didn't. Again, when I grew up in Gallatin, I met my husband in Gallatin and went to Vol State Community College and married. And so often, like young couples, get involved in doing those things that married people do, raising a family, and dropped out of school after 2 years and decided later that I wanted to go back to college. So when my daughter was, I have one daughter, was a very young age, I decided to go back to school. So I went back to Tennessee State University, worked the whole time I was going back to school. In fact, I worked for state government at that time as Director of Postal Services for the state of Tennessee. Went at nighttime and earned my Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration, and enjoyed school so much that I continued on at Vanderbilt and again earned a master's degree in Human Resource Development. And during that time, professionally, I continued to try to develop myself and improve myself. I continued to try to also support other candidates. I think the tipping point of me actually getting into politics was I had a friend, or my husband had a friend, who was running for judge at that time and asked me to help. And I did agree to help her. And what I discovered is every time I would ask someone to do something for this young lady, they would do it. And I realized then that I had some influence that I had not used in the past, and that if I could work that hard for other people, then certainly I could work that hard for myself. and we were very successful in the Metro Council race, and I think have just been able to accomplish many goals out there in that area.
Very good. And of course, we're nearing the end of this first segment, Representative Gilmore. And when we come back, we'll allow you to talk about some of the things that are going on in the Tennessee General Assembly now.
Okay.
And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very short commercial break. The topic is the Tennessee